Hello, the student of class 10. Today we will read the first flight book, lesson number 3, the two stories about flying, part 1. His first flight. His first flight lesson highlights the importance of independence, self-confidence, and self-belief. From an education's point of view, his first flight shows how to tactfully impart motivation. Motivation can help to achieve our success. Invention is always the mother of necessity. Is always mother of invention. Let's open your book and read the lesson. First part of the third lesson, his first flight. It is a story about a young seagull who was afraid to fly, but his mother's motivation gave him to courage, and at last he began to fly and forget all the fear which is occurred, which is surrounded which to the young seagull. The young seagull was alone on his ledge. His two brothers and sisters had already flown away the day before. He had been offered to fly with them. Somehow, when he taken a little run forward to the brink of the edge and attempted to flap his wings, he became afraid. The great expanse of sea stretched down beneath, and it was such a long way down, miles down. He felt certain that his wings would never support him, so he bent his head and ran away back to the little hole under the ledge, where he slept in night. Even when each of his brothers and his little sister, whose wings were far shorter than his own, ran to the blink, flapped their wings, and flew away, he failed to muster up courage to take that plunge which appeared to him so desperate. His father and mother had come around, calling to him shrilly, upbraiding him, threatening him to let him starve on the ledge unless he flew away. But for the life of him, he could not move. In this paragraph, the writer is denoting about a young seagull to his first flight. His little sister and brothers have already day before flown, and his mother and father always threatening to be starved if will not be flew. That was 24 hours ago. Since then, nobody had come near him. The day before, all day long, he had watched his parents flying about with his brothers and sisters, perfecting them in the art of flight, teaching them how to skim the waves and how to dive for fish. He had, in fact, seen his older brothers catch the first herring, and they were standing on a rock while his parents circled around, raising a proud crackle, and all the morning the whole family had walked about on the big plateau midway down the opposite cliff, taunting him with his cowardice, his brother and sisters and parents taunting him or his cowardice, and he cannot muster up to courage to fly away because he thought his wings would not be supported him. The sun was now ascending the sky, flashing on its legs that faced the south. He felt the heat because he had not eaten since the previous nightfall. He stepped slowly out to the brink of the sledge north and standing on one leg and with the other leg hidden under his wings, he closed one eye
and pretended to be falling asleep. Still they took no notice of him. He saw his two brothers and his sister lying on the plateau, dozing, with their heads sunk into their necks. His father was preening his feathers on his white back, but only his mother was looking at him. She was standing on a little high hump on the plateau, her white face pressed forward. Now and again she would at a piece of fish that lay at her feet and then scraped each side of her beak on the rock. The sight of the book maddened him. How he loved to hear wood bark that way, scraping his beak now and again, wetting, and his all the family was busy into catching their prey. No anyone was bothered about the young seagull. Only his mother was looking to him, and now and then he scraped a piece of fish and scraped each side of the beak on the rock. Ga ga ga, he carried, begging her to bring him some food. Go all. She screamed back derisively, but he kept calling plaintively, and after a minute or so he uttered a joyful scream. His mother had picked up a piece of fish and was flying across to him with it. He leaned out eagerly, tapping the rock with his feet, trying to get nearer, was just opposite to him. She halted her wings motionless, the piece of fish in her beak almost within reach of his beak. He waited a moment in surprise, wondering why she did not come nearer, and then, maddened by hunger, he dived at the fish. With a loud scream, he fell outwards and downwards into space. Then a monster terror seized him, and his heart stood still. He could hear nothing, but it only lasted a minute. The next moment, he felt his wings spread outwards. The wing brushed against his breast feathers, then under his stomach and against his wings. He could feel the tips of his wings cutting through the air. He was not falling head down now. He was soaring gradually downwards and upwards. He was no longer afraid. He just felt a bit dizzy. Then he flapped his wings once and he soared upwards. Ga, 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 ga. His mother stooped past him, her wings making making a loud noise. He answered her with another scream. Then his father flew over him, screaming. He saw his two brothers and his sister lying around him, curveting and banking and soaring and in this paragraph, the young seeker tried to fly, and he jumped and began his wings up. his wings flapped outwards and up and down, soaring, and then for a moment he forgot every kind of fear. Then he completely forgot that he had not always been able to fly and commended himself to dive and soar and curve, shrieking shrilly. He was near the sea now. And now flying straight over it, facing straight over and over the ocean he saw a vast green sea beneath him, the little bridges moving over it, and he turned his beak sideways and called abusively. His parents and his brothers and sister had landed on the green flooring ahead of him. They were beckoning to him, calling shrilly. He dropped his legs to stand on the green sea. His legs sank into it. He screamed with her pride and was tempted to raise again, flapping her wings, but he was tired and weak with hunger, and he could not rise. Exhausted by the strange exercise, his feet sank into the green sea, and then his belly touched it, and he sank no further. He was floating on it, and around him his family was screaming, praising him, and their beaks were offering him scraps of raw fish. He had made his first flight. At last, he had made his first flight. The beard had vanished now, and he now he was not operated any kinds of situations. Now, look at whiteboard. The summary of the lesson is first flight is a parable that deals with overcoming outliers. In life, every journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and it is this first step that is the most difficult to make. And if we are able to gather up courage, conquer our fears, and step out into the world, we realize that we were indeed born with wings. Wings life are synonymous. Wings here synonymous with potential, with ability, and the courage to achieve. Now, wings here are synonymous with potential, with ability, and the courage to achieve our goal in our life. This first flight describes the flight of the young seagull that is afraid of life. His parents and siblings make fun of him and taunt him, but the young seagull finds it nearly impossible to set out on its maiden voyage. The young seagull looked discreetly at the vast expanse of sea that stretched down beneath the nest. He was hungry. His parents had flown away along with his brothers and sister, leaving him alone on the rock without food. They could all fly, and he could not. He had tried several times to run forward to the brink of the lake and flap his wings, but he became afraid. He was certain that his wings would not support him. His parents had tried countless times to make him fly, but all is in vain. He felt that he was going to starve to death on his leg. Even his mother was not looking at him. she was tearing a piece of fish with her beak. The sight of the food maddened him, maddened by hunger. He dived at the fish, but his mother flew upward. At last, he flapped his wings. Next moment, he realized that he was flying. It was his first flight.
See the question. Question number 1. Why was the young seagull alone? Answer. The young seagull was afraid to fly. He had not been able to set out on its first flight. His brothers and sister had already started flying, so he was left alone. Second question. Why did young seagull's parents scold him? The young seagull had been extremely terrorized by the fear of the wasp that lay ahead of him. His fear had not allowed him to fly off the ledge. This made his parents angry and making them scold him. Question third. What did the young seagull do to attract his mother's attention? In order to attract attention of his mother, he stood on one leg and pretended to be falling asleep on the edge of the ledge. Question 4. Why was the young seagull afraid to fly? The young seagull was afraid to fly because somehow he was convinced that his wings would not support him. Now thinking about the text, question number 1, 2, 3, you have to complete as your homework. Pause the videos and write in your notebook. Thank you. Your lesson has